Welcome to 100 Days Dragon Block C. In this 100 days, I want to do a couple of things. One of those things being getting the highest form of a Saiyan that I can be. That's right, we're going to pick Saiyan, because that's what I'm saying. And because we're picking Saiyan, we're going to have to beat Broly on day 100 after getting through the entire storyline, even Dragon Ball Super. Before we get started in this video, I just want to give a huge thanks to Zeevski for inspiring this video, and because I'm using his mod pack, so it only feels right to do so. And I just want to say I did add a couple other mods besides the one he has. So let me get you into the 100 days me. Alright, so obviously I picked Saiyan and went for the Broly cosplay. Now that we're done customizing our character, we can obviously go on to getting some stones, some tools, you know, things like that. Things that we're gonna need. Mining, and then we run into a lava pool, so, you know, not really the best situation, but we can deal with it. Finding ourselves leaving the island with our stone tools in hand, taking on the open seas of the mysteries of the Dragon Block C ocean, which, you know, there really isn't anything in them besides the Kame house. That's really all we're gonna need to come back here for, it really. Now that it's nighttime, but looking up at the moon, we can go Oozaru, just like Vegeta did in Dragon Ball Z, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Dragon Ball Z. Could have been something else, but I'm pretty positive it was Dragon Ball Z. It is Dragon Ball Z. Now that we're out of Oozaru mode, we can finally find ourselves in a cave late day one, hoping to, you know, maybe get some riches and resources before day 2 hits, before we have to go out again to find, hopefully, Kame House, so we can finally get started on the story mode 6 days later. You know, no biggie. Day 2, we find ourselves in the desert finding a desert temple. Now, I haven't played this version in a long time, so I kind of forgot that desert temples used to have wool as the orange and blue imprints in the temple. I just kind of forgot. But now that we're in the temple, we can finally get into that juicy loot after breaking the pressure plate and getting that TNT. What will we use it for? I don't know. Something, probably. Beats me, man. Why don't you guess yourself? How am I supposed to know? I haven't seen it yet. Neither of you. Once we start looting all these goody loot bags and getting these diamonds, we'll be rich. Except for all the loot bags have clothes in them. But you know what that means. Drip or drown, baby. Drip or drown. Later on day 2, we find ourselves on the open sea, heading, guess where? Back towards spawn. Why? Because, as I said before, it was back towards spawn. So guess what? We gotta go all the way back. Day 3, we are finally at the Kame house. Here is the attribute board, the old one, just so you can get a better thing and I can explain it better. So you have strength, dexterity, CON, will, mind, and spirit. Those things do all sorts of good things towards your strength, obviously, so on and so forth. You have TP, total points you get from hitting the shadow dummy that's being blocked, but you get what I'm saying. With things such as TP and mind, you can buy jump, dash, or fly. Fly, I say, is the best one, but we hope to get all of them. You can also get weights from your trainers. Those allow you to get more TP. With enough TP, I can then buy fly. Even later on day 3, we end up in the dirty, stony biome fighting dinosaurs, as the dinosaur meat is pretty good for filling up pretty much your entire bar. The giant bar at the top left, health, ki, and stamina. So you could say this biome is pretty good to grind in, as it gives you a lot of TP, being able to fight only hostile mobs. They're only hostile mobs that spawn in this biome, so it's really good for grinding it. But even later on day 3, if you look at the top left, something just appeared. Go 5 seconds back and look at the bar. That's right, we are the legendary Super Saiyan. So my Broly cosplay has really come through, but now that we're Broly, we need to build a base, as I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to really be Broly and be homeless. So the base design I'm going for should be pretty simple, but also pretty cool if you think about it, if the way I build it is correct. But I'm not a lunatic. I'm not just going to build a floating bridge. I'm gonna add supports. Everybody knows, even though Minecraft logic is not logic, you add logic into Minecraft. You know, that's the rule. You add stability where stability is not needed. You know what I mean? Everybody knows this. Everybody knows the rule. Day 4, we finally begin working on where we want to put the entrance to the base. We had to go for a little of a mineshaft kind of entrance, and then I add some chisel blocks on the top to make it look a little bit more spiffy, if you know what I'm saying, rather than the normal cobblestone, as in this version it looks a little So we go for the chisel chiseled version instead. Now that the entrance is taken care of, we can finally begin working on how the structure of the inside of the cave we want to go is, as I think I want to go for more of a circular kind of thing rather than just like a giant square. So, you know, we got to start by mining it out both sides, getting the layout. So I go for kind of a 3 kind of side pillar and then 6 down. Then we begin mining out the inside now that both sides have been carved out completely. Day 5, we can finally begin working on the corner bits, pretty much almost finishing the base, the inside anyways. I still kind of want to do a couple things on the outside, on the other side of the bridge. I think it'd be kind of cool if we kind of have the bridge something and then it expands outwards. You'll see what I mean in the later days. Hopefully we'll expand on it. But now that we've pretty much placed all of the cobblestone bricks, we can finally begin working on the floor. Alright, with the floors, I kind of wanted to go with a like half and half kind of build-ish kind of thing. I don't really know why. I just kind of thought of it randomly, mainly because there was a lot of spruce wood around and I wanted to use it in this build, so that's really the only reason. Day 6, we start off the day fighting a Red Ribbon Army mech machine thingamabob. Then we spill water on our keyboard. The only reason I know that is because we do a random jump, then the map opens. I remember this because now I have to use a different keyboard that I had. Luckily I had a spare one. But then we move on to fighting things. That's right, we can finally get into some action. First off, first opponent is none other than Yamcha himself. That's right. Don't worry, he does literally no damage and we whoop him. This day is all about fighting because next up we got the Pilaf squad. That's right, my Pilaf and what's his face? I don't know, but they're easy as well. Then we have them and their mechs. Not combined yet, but them in their mechs. They are also all really easy to beat. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. I don't know why it's so easy, and hopefully I figured it out. I guess we'll see. You guys will see, I guess. Day 7, we begin training on the Shadow Dummy, as it's probably the best training way out of the 3. I don't think I've shown the other 2, but maybe we will. I don't really know. After training on the Shadow Dummy, we move on to go find food. So we go on a food brigade. That's right, a food brigade for food that we are going to need to keep training, to keep battling the sorts of the bosses. Like, I think next up, I don't know who we have, but it's our opponent in the martial arts tournament that Goku fights in. That's right, we will win because we have to. Day 8, we start off getting some obsidian for a nether portal. With the obsidian and the nether portal now complete, we can finally head on to the nether. Now in the nether, I go to pick up some glowstone because I'm pretty sure the space pod says you need glowstone for the chips. You also need lapis and swords. So that's kind of what I'm getting. I know we don't need the space pad, as I don't need to go to Namek for a little while, but eventually I'm probably going to need extras, so it doesn't hurt to get the materials that I need for the space pod now rather than later. Even later on day 8, we head to the mines to look for some diamonds. As you can tell, our diamond pickaxe is getting a little low on durability, and I would rather not have to go down to an iron pickaxe, so I'm hoping to find some diamonds rather than be diamond broke for the sense. Like, I need the tools, I need armor. Day 9, we finally decide to fight the Pilaf squad once again, but this time in their combined mech form, in the same spot we fought them before, obviously, because why wouldn't we? And then we receive some drip for beating the Pilaf squad, as they are bums, straight bums, but it's not better than the armor I have. Then we do the concentration training, which is where you click and the clickety click thing, you know what I'm saying? You guys get what I'm saying. You guys get what I mean. Whatever. I mean, it's not that important. And then we finally head on to the most important place, the Dirty Stony biome, which is pretty good for training and getting the dinosaur meat, as I've mentioned before. So we kind of just slap around a couple dinosaurs here and there, get the meat, bring it back, and then beat on this guy. I could have just left, but I didn't, so. Day 10, we're back in the mines with an iron pickaxe this time, as I still don't want our diamond pickaxe to break. We need diamonds. I still have found none since when we found the first 3. Back from the mines, we decided to make a gold furnace with the gold that we got from the mines. With that out of the way, we can finally go on and continue with the story mode missions, fighting Ninja Murask, I don't know how you say his name, but, you know, I'm gonna find him because he drops a katana, which I like. I couldn't find him at first, but then I realized that he probably just spawned up on top, and he did. And once again, it was really easy to beat him. But now that he's taken care of, we can finally reap our reward, which is his own katana, so that's pretty good. Day 11 is a pretty eventful day. We fight Android 8, then we move on to some weird-looking Pinky Blob guy. I don't even know how you say his name, but he's a pink blob and he's shirtless, and I'm pretty sure I can see his nipples, which is kind of weird if you ask me, but you know, some people might be into that. Then we move on to General Silver, who we then whoop because these guys are bums. You know, they're fodder, so who really cares? Then we move on to General Blue, I think is it? Yep, General Blue, and then Mercenary Tao, one right after the other. I was gonna clip around, and then I realized there's really no point as they're just so close together that it just looks weird. Mercenary Tao then tries to run away because she's a scared little chicken. Then we move on to fighting all of the gunners, bazookas, and all of the other fodder people that you can name. And we actually almost die here, which I didn't think I was going to. And I thought that maybe we were a little stronger, but we actually weren't. So I guess I was wrong. After fighting all those gunners, we then take a trip over to Goku to buy Potential Unlock. Potential Unlock is that little bar kind of thing up top, right there. Yep. It allows us to go up 5, raising our battle points every time we level up the Potential Unlock skill. Day 12, a lot less eventful than day 11 was, but you know, still needed in the greater scheme of this 100 days. But we really just went mining for the first little half of this day 12, as some may call it. Some may call it useless. Then we fight our Shadow Dummy, as I need more TP to get more key skills from Goku, Gohan, and all of the masters, the good ones, not the evil ones. But maybe if we do another DBC 100 days, we can be evil instead. Then I decapitate some androids, as I didn't know that was possible, but apparently it is. Day 13, we begin extending the platform, going with what I wanted to do with the base originally, going for the kind of design I wanted, but didn't really, you know, go for it, as I didn't know how it was going to look and kind of scrapped the original idea I was going for. So now we're going to end up with this. With the extension made, we can finally begin adding the supports. Hopefully they look even. The first one, not really, but these ones will be even with each other and hopefully look, you know, pretty decent, hopefully. But we're gonna need some sand, as this build requires some glass. When I say some, I mean a lot of glass. So that means we better start digging out an island. Day 14, we start the Baba Saga, starting off with Fangs the Vampire, as you know, he's the first one, obviously. Then moving on to the See-Through Invisible Man, as he's not very invisible with the name above his head and with lock-ons, so that's pretty, you know, whatever. Then we got the Bandaged Mummy. He was actually a lot harder than the other ones. They're actually getting a lot harder. Then we got Spike the Devil. He is, he almost killed me, and that's very worrying. We had Grandpa Gohan, who, you know, we slapped up a little bit. He slapped me up. I tried to do some tricks on him. It was this whole thing. After killing him, we get the Power Pole. With the Power Pole, we can place it and it'll go up. That's pretty much it. So I go place it on Goku's house, and I give it back to him, you know, because it was originally his, and then I somehow got it. So I gave it back. Now, to take a break from fighting, I decided to go place some glass, some good old glass, as we're going to add another section to the base, underneath the base, with another added part. I don't know what I'm going to do under there, but we're going to do something, and hopefully it's cool. Now that we're done taking a break from fighting, I can head on over to Goku's house and try to buy some key techniques from him. I'm thinking about buying some skills, but I settle on a key technique, which is Ki Blast. Ki Blast really doesn't do anything in the later game, but it's okay for early game, as it's just a key technique. Then we spawn in Yamcha in this random spot next to Goku's house for some reason. I don't really know why. Day 15, I decided I wanted to be like Cell and make my own arena. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of stole Cell's idea with the 2 pillars, and then I'm gonna have the thingies in the middle. I kind of stole his idea, but don't tell him, because he'll come to my house and he'll beat me up, and I really don't want that. But then we go on to fight Chiaotzu, the friendliest fella. Then Krillin, who, you know, slaps us around a bit. And then finally, we fight Tian Shan, who, actually manages to defeat us, as we defeat him at the same time. So after recovering from my loss and losing my legendary Super Saiyan status, definitely not mad at that, I take to the mines once again to get more diamonds, and hopefully I won't have to rely on Shenron to get diamonds, cause that would suck. Day 16, we're fighting Tambourine. Yep, that's right, we're fighting this green weirdo, but we take our time as I don't want to head to Otherworld once again, which means we need to get a little bit stronger. Then we're fighting Symbol, although Tambourine hit hard, Symbol did not. Then we're fighting Tambourine once again, this time I think he's a lot weaker though. Then moving on to the main man himself, King Piccolo. After beating King Piccolo, we move on to work on the arena, as I kind of left it unfinished, and that is not right. I should finish my work when working on work. Then we decided to add some stone bricks to the sorts, because I think it looks pretty nice. The same stone bricks we used for the base, but I like them here. They look nice. Day 17, before we get into the more of the Dragon Ball Z story, I decided to add a fence railing to finish off the house look. Then I decided to fight Drum, and he doesn't really do a lot of damage, just a lot of health. Then King Piccolo, once again, that's right, he's back. So after we're done whooping on Piccolo, I decided to summon Shenlong, as we need some things. We need really just one thing. You guys just saw it, and it's we need diamonds, so we wish for diamonds from Shenlong, and he gives it to us and bounces, never to be seen again. Well, at least not for a little while. After summoning Shenlong, we take to the desert, as we need some cactus for the chips, the tech chips that allow us to make things such as the Dragon Ball Locator, or radar as it's called. Now at Kame's lookout, we decide to talk to him, as that's kind of what it tells us to do. So that's really what we do. Then we head over to Piccolo to talk to him, and he's aura farming. And he doesn't even have his fit on. Like, how are you aura farming without your fit? That's kind of unbelievable. So then I get his fit so I can aura farm as well. Day 18, we're working on base stuff, such as adding a little staircase into the underneath part of the base that I'm going to add. That's right, where the glass is, right here, there's going to be a little underneath part. I'm going to kind of figure out how I want to do it. Haven't figured it out yet, but I'll get there. After mining out this little last bit right here, we go to plant sugarcane so we can make more books for our enchant table. And then we punch 2 cows for absolutely no reason. They just kind of caught the stray. Then we make a dragon radar, as I described before, as I want to look for the Dragon Balls again, hoping I can wish for even more diamonds. That's right. But to no luck, none of them were around, so I couldn't do anything. Day 19, we put on some eyes, make us look cool. We get blue and white eyes with some weird eyebrows. We kind of look kind of funky. Then we head to the mines, once again, with our new barrage attack that allows us to mine really fast. And when I say fast, I mean, I just kind of got to stand there and shoot, and it takes a little bit of my ki that I can refresh by eating. I mean, it's really not that bad. I mean, it's really easy to find diamonds doing this. And like I said, then we find diamonds, because why wouldn't we? We finally are diamond rich. We no longer have to wish for diamonds from Shenlong. After finding these diamonds, we head back up, and I fight Cyborg Mercenary Tao, as, you know, he comes back for some reason. Then we head to the Dirty Stony Biome, where I fight a Dinosaur Rex, which gives big dinosaur meat, which is significantly better than regular dinosaur meat. So it's pretty good when finding these guys, and sometimes they don't spawn that often, so. Going off to day 19, still fighting more dinosaurs, as we're gonna need a lot of meat. Day 20, we leave the base to go out exploring, as I want to find a village so I can get bookshelves. Do I find a village? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Except for we keep going, because why would I stop? There would be no next time on Dragon Ball Z, it's just now. I find Cell's Arena, and if you ask me, mine's a whole lot better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I do still think mine is better than Cell's, and it will always be better than his. Continuing on our adventure, we find ourselves in a jungle biome for not very long, looking for, well, really anything. I'm just kind of looking around, browsing my options here and there. We find ourselves heading back to base, as I am done exploring and found absolutely nothing. So I decided to turn around and head back. Day 21, we go out to explore, adventure, and look for sugarcane, and boy, do I have some bad news. Days 22 to 23 are gone. Not gone, I deleted them mainly because, well, they were frozen on literally like the when I first woke up screen. It was weird. They were just bugged. They're gone. So day 24 is next. So just to give an example, this is exactly what it looked like bar for bar. Like no matter where I go, it will be frozen on day 21 as it says on the map. Like it's just stuck there for those 2 days, and I didn't realize until the end of day 23, which is why 24 works. Day 24, and we find ourselves inside the Nether, looking for a Nether fortress because I want some Wither skulls to fight the Wither, to get a beacon, you know, because I want to be balling like that. That and to find some blazes for blaze rods so we can fight the Ender Dragon. Now at the Nether fortress, I fight blazes to get their blaze rods because I need them to go to the end, as I said. But after discovering that the loot was hot garbage and getting all the blaze rods we need, I bounced because I need loot and this place is broke and had literally nothing to give me besides blaze rods, so I bounced. Day 25, I buy key protection from Gohan and key infuse because why not? I'm pretty rich in the TP department, so I thought I'd spend my riches. Then we head on over to an island and get some sand for glass for some future projects I plan on working on that hopefully will use a lot of glass. And then we use the rest of day 25 to wait for that glass to smelt. Believe it or not, we actually sit here and wait the whole time. Day 26, we begin working on what I would say the first of many buildings that will be in this city that I am crafting, as I want to do what was happening on Earth before, where they were living in the city. That's kind of what I want. So after laying this structure down, I decided to start placing the glass. With this, I'm just kind of going off of the dome. You know, I'm not really thinking. I'm just kind of, this would look nice, this would look nice, but this could look cool, and it, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But now we're in the final stretch of placing the last bit of glass with the building, except for the roof obviously. But I mean, this building is going to be the first of many, so it doesn't have to look the best, but I think it looks pretty good. Let me know what you guys think down below. Top tier house or what? Day 27, we're back in the mines, but we're not swinging our pickaxe from side to side. We're instead launching our barrage attack, as last time I'd say that worked pretty perfectly in getting diamonds, and it will continue working throughout this 100 days as I don't have to do anything but stand there and hold down this button for a little bit and then go reap the reward. After coming back from mining on day 27, we decide to go chop down some trees for some wood for some more bookshelves, as we're gonna need a lot of wood for bookshelves. With almost enough bookshelves, I then decided to go enchant my second pickaxe to see if I can get anything better like fortune. I get one enchant better, but you know, it's better than nothing. Day 28, I start off by killing 6 Cybermen. Before, when I was doing this, I said 8, and then I went back and it's actually 6. So we fight 6 Cybermen. These Cybermen were really annoying. They're not even hard to beat, they're just annoying. I mean, to be fair, I almost died, but you know, we're not gonna talk about it. Nobody talks about that. But yeah, no, these are just really annoying to fight, like really, really annoying, because all they do is bat around and then you get boxed. Then I fight Raditz on extremely low HP and get sent to Otherworld. Once again, we're dead. Second time, or second death. Except for this time, we stay in Otherworld to go to King Kai's place to get Kaioken and Ki Boost from him. Kaioken mainly because I want it before we go to Namek, and Ki Boost because it's pretty good, boost your overall ki. And then I figure out how to use Kaioken, because before I couldn't figure it out, but you really have to hold it for a really long time and then it will activate. So, but other than that, after figuring that out, we bounced out to leave King Kai's place and head back to the living world. Day 29, we get back on Raditz. Full HP this time, and he doesn't really, he almost kills us a little bit, but I mean, it's no biggie. I mean, he really does nothing. We really just whoop him. We really do, definitely. And then we put a scouter on, and I kind of get rid of it after that because it blocks my whole screen with green, so I just thought I didn't need it. Next up, we have the Cybermen round 2. They send more. Leave me alone, you annoying green monkeys. And then we kill the last two and everything's dandy. And we're back to working on, guess what? The shop. The main, the myth, the building. The best building in town. Look at it. Then we add some nice colorful out-tuning outside, as I think it needed it. I think I needed it really, really badly. Day 30, we fight Nappa and Vegeta, but we take out Nappa first, as that's what Goku does, I'm pretty sure. So we take out Nappa first as well, as I'm pretty sure he's the weaker out of the two, as Vegeta is still alive to this day, and, well, Nappa isn't, so obviously he's stronger. I mean, he is the Prince of Saiyans, but still, like, come on. Then we go to slap up Vegeta, who, in my opinion, was significantly weaker. In both fights, I'm in Kaioken, and he just, his was easier. Then we do some much needed training. Now back to being a legendary Super Saiyan. As when we get to Namek and we get to the Frieza fight, I want to be able to turn Super Saiyan, but not until the Frieza fight. Day 31, we make some sacrifices so we can get some leather, and if I have to suffer through the noises and the cries at night of these horses, so do you. You will listen to every single one. And after that, we go training. After that dark past, I slap up the Shadow Dummy, because I definitely need more TP. Definitely. Why would I ever not need more TP? I definitely don't at one point end up with over 50k. But we're gonna need a lot more. Day 32, we head to the Nether for some quartz, but without fortune, unfortunately. See what I did there? See what I did there? Unfortunately, we won't be able to get anything, so I go and slaughter cows instead. Not for XP, but for the leather. Once again, we go on a killing spree because that's just the way I am. This mod pack is making me really violent. And then we open a loot bag from the cow's corpse. Day 33, we are once back in the Nether, but this time with fortune on our pickaxe, so unfortunately, no more corny jokes. I could have just made one there now, but I didn't. I resisted the urge for you guys. The reason we needed the course was because I found this weird floating space rock thing next to where the base is, and I decided it looked like a spaceship, so it's going to be turned into a spaceship, which is why we needed the quartz to make it look like a spaceship and not just a floating pile of rocks. With this rock finally taking spaceship form, if that's what you would call it, I think it is. So I don't know what you guys think, but I don't really care. You guys can suck a rock for all I care. A floating rock that looks like a spaceship, for that matter. And with the final little touches, this spaceship will be complete. I shall take over the world with this floating inanimate spaceship. With the ship complete, we can move on to day 34, where we finally head off to Namek. So we get in our space pod, hit the down arrow on the keyboard, hit select to move it to Namek. Come on, hit select. Thank you. Then hit OK, and you're off to Namek. Once inside of Namek, one would think we'd instantly start with the quests. Nope, we start breaking people's houses apart, because why not? I like the blocks, they're useful, they're good with building, so I just, maybe desecrated a few homes, only a few, not a lot. But then we're on to the Frieza Force, finally getting into the quests, and finally going to be able to take down Frieza once we get our way up to Frieza. But in order to do that, we got to get through a couple people first. Those people being the Frieza soldiers you just saw me fight, Q, I don't know how you say his name, but whatever. Then we have Deborah, or Dordora, not Deborah. Deborah is in the Giyu Force. And we have Giyu himself with the whole Giyu Force. So I'll let you guys just watch me beat these guys up. And you don't need to see the other two, it's just the same stuff really. So let's move on to the main event. Alright, I was gonna scream for this, but it sounded cringy, so I'm not going to. But we are gonna go Super Saiyan, and because we're legendary, and we're Broly, and we're sick, we're gonna be green. Unlike all you posers. Now that we have achieved Super Saiyan, we can fight Frieza. And I was gonna add boss music to this, but it was just so short that nothing happened. Like, now that we're back on Earth, I decided to make a little lab area. I don't really know what I'm gonna call it or what it is, but that's just what I'm gonna call it, a lab. And I decided to add these cool magma blocks with the chiseled nether brick is what it is. The magma blocks are chiseled nether brick. So I think they're pretty cool. Day 36, and we're back in Namek, making more people homeless. And you might say this is a bad idea, but here, I have an idea. I'm gonna make an apartment complex and charge them rent. Back on Earth, we're back in the cave, but this time adding the nether brick chiseled blocks, the obsidian variant anyways. I think it looks pretty nice, but let me know what you guys think down below. And you'll never believe what I did. Stared at this wall for the rest of day 36. So productive of me. Day 37, we're mining up the floor to add new flooring in. That's right, new flooring update just hit. It's gonna be fire. Just kidding, it's a fleshy it's fleshy netherrack brick is what it is. Then we're mining up the floor over here. This one won't be, I promise, won't be the fleshy brick that we had before. It won't be that. I promise you. I promise. Then we're mining up the roof, and that's pretty much all we really do is work on this the rest of day 37. Day 38. We're back in Namek once again, taking apart more Namekian houses. This one had dirt in it, so I'm starting to think maybe nobody lived in here and they were lying. That's right. Everybody's homeless on Namek. Then I randomly threw a spirit bomb, my own spirit bomb, at this mountain for some reason. I don't really know why. I just kind of thought, hey, let's just chuck a bomb at this mountain, see what happens. Nothing really happened. Day 39, still at the blown up area where I threw a spirit bomb for some reason. I decided to add stone bricks, or I guess cobbled stone bricks. I'm just gonna say stone bricks so it's easier. And then I decided to add a little thing to matches. I don't know what you'd call this, but like a little ring, half ring on both sides coming to meet in the middle. And it was offside, so I had to redo it. But this time I got it right. And this time I added some different cobblestone as a connector piece, as I'm just kind of building this off the fly and not really knowing what I'm doing, but I'm hoping it will look cool when it's done. Day 40, we begin placing the glass in our new structure that we're building. I don't even know what it is, and I have the hiccups. That's right, I do. So we go get more sand, as we need a lot of glass for this build, I would assume. So we're gonna need a lot of sand. That means sand in the toes and in my hiccups. Placing more glass at towards the end of day 40, towards the middle-ish. You know, nobody really knows what time it is, even though I probably should. Top part's done, so now we are going to begin working on another midsection kind of thing for the bottom part. Now that that is done, we can add more connector bits to the bottom part, and it looks like this. Let's say it looks pretty good, but I guess we'll figure out in the next couple of days when we finish this build. Day 41, we continue working on this weird random building. I don't even know what to call it because I don't know what it's gonna be, so I have no idea, but we're pretty much almost done with the design I want to go for, except for on the inside. That's right, there's gonna be an inside and I don't really know, so we're pretty much done with this side. So let's head on over to doing the other side, which is a little bit weirder because they're different, because it's an odd even hole as we saw before when I was making the actual outline. This is the end of day 41 and this is what it looks like so far. Day 42, we place glass on the upper top, whatever you, I don't even know what I want to call it. The upper bit, the inside, the mouth, I don't even know. We place it in between the two gaps that we built. So that's where it goes. This is what it looks like with the glass. Then we move on to the inside, making the floor and digging out the entrance way so that we can actually make this into something. If I do make this into something, because I don't know what it's gonna be. Now that we're done mining out the wall, we can begin placing the bricks on the floor, as this is really just a basic build with basic materials, as I don't want to go looking for anything else, anything at all. And I keep marble mouthing, so if you hear it, don't make fun of me. Then we're AFKing because I can't do anything else apparently. Day 43, we're back, or at least Frieza is back. His Goonies are back, and they're better than ever. Well, probably. I don't know. These guys were kind of easy. They kind of suck. I did turn down the volume so it's not as loud as it was before, but let me know if it was still too loud. Alright, and now it's time to fight Frieza. And you guys thought I was gonna win? I didn't win. We died. But don't worry, we spin back on Frieza after turning Super Saiyan, and this time we will win. Say it with me now. We will beat Mecha Frieza and King Cold, no matter what. Time for round 2. With King Cold finally dead, we can now rest. Easy knowing that nothing, maybe something, probably not, will be able to attack us again. Day 44, we head to Kami's lookout, as that's what the quest tells us today. We gotta head there to talk to him because he knows stuff that we don't. Yeah, that's right. Something bigger, badder, and meaner is coming. So now we must head to the Dirty Stony biome to fight Android 20 and 19. With Android 19 out of the way, we can finally move on to Android 20. With the androids finally out of the way, we can make our way over to Namek once again, as we need to do some more training, and we probably do need more dinosaur meat as I've pretty much run out of my steak. So this is a pretty good way to train and get more food. Day 45, we're fighting Android 18. Now usually I would have some boss battle music, but I thought this fight didn't need it since I died pretty much almost instantaneously. And I thought it'd give me a chance to talk over this fight instead of rather having you guys watch, since I almost beat here and then take one to the face, heading to Otherworld just like Goku. Somewhere on my way back, I ended up running out of energy. With no food to regenerate it, I am forced to walk all the way back, except for I get the great idea. Get a flying Nimbus and I can fly home with no energy. So we make it back pretty easily after that. Day 46 and we're on Namek, but this time we're using the Spirit Bomb.
The sun, the moon and the stars, the plants and the animals, all living things, let me share your power.
And then we watch the Spirit Bomb come crashing towards this dinosaur in slow motion, and it blows it up. Kaboom, gone. This dinosaur just took a stray just cuz. Just kidding, I'm here to train. And I brought my furnace with me this time too, so I can cook them as I kill them. That's right, cook and kill. That's what they teach me in school. Day 47, we're charging up Super Saiyan once again, as we need to take down one person and one person alone, and that person is Cell, except for he has absorbed no androids yet. So let's get you into this fight against me and Cell. Now that we have defeated Cell, it's time to take on androids 17 and 16. With androids 17 and 16 now gone, we can now resume our training. Now the reason we are training so much now is we have to fight Cell, who has now absorbed android 17. Except for we're still pretty weak and only have access to Super Saiyan and not Super Saiyan 2 yet. We will need to get that later on to fight Perfect Cell, so we should probably start grinding towards that now. Day 48, after AFKing for a little bit, 2 dragon blocks spawned, but I feel like they were a bad omen, as somebody appears. Somebody, and his name is Cell. Now that Cell has absorbed android 17, he's a lot stronger than when we fought him before. Cell almost killing me while I was in base form, I thought maybe it was time we need to go Super Saiyan. Now in our Super Saiyan state, we can finally take on Cell one-on-one. Except for this time, Cell destroys our precious arena. So now it is time to get our get back and end him for good this time. Next time we fight Cell, it will be for good, as we will get our get back for him destroying our precious arena. The entirety of day 49 was spent just killing dinosaurs on Namek. I'm pretty sure it's because I was running low after the mini fights, and with the war, pretty much with the androids, I have been running low, so I decided to head to Namek and fill back up. But it's also a pretty great way, as I've said before, to train up your TP, except for now we're in normal mode to gain less. Day 50, we're back to training because once again, Cell will return. Even though I said I was going to beat him for good, I lied. He will return stronger than ever, and we need to get to Super Saiyan 2 in order for us to fight him once again, as he wants us to get stronger. So we send ourselves to the hyperbolic time chamber in order to get stronger, faster, better now that we are in normal mode instead of insane mode. That's good in the long run, as it'll be a lot harder to get TP and I won't be like level 1,000,000 before day 60. Now that we've spent a little while in the hyperbolic time chamber, we get Super Saiyan G2, which is just a little bit better than Super Saiyan, and we get a little bit fatter. Day 51, and we're in Namek once again, getting more dragon meat, but that's not the only reason we're here. We're also here to look for the Dragon Balls, as I want to wish for some Kacha shards for the gravity machine, so that we can do it inside of one of our random builds that we've made, so it has a use. Back at base now, coming back from Namek, we make a auto smelter type thing, except for it's a little too big for the base, so it will also go inside one of the weird random buildings that we have made since this 100 days. Day 52, we're back on Namek looking for the Dragon Balls, as I can't seem to find them for some reason, but I mean, don't worry, we'll eventually find them in the sun. Obviously, that's where they are. And now we're back on Earth, but this time we're fighting Shadow Dummies. That's right, more training. Have to get the Super Saiyan 2, and that takes a lot of training. Guess what? We became even wider. Thick man achieved. That's right, we're even thicker. Days 53 to 55 we're training literally the entire time, as I want to progress in this mod, but in order for me to do that, I need to get to Super Saiyan 2, and that means I need to level up the Super Saiyan form multiple times. So you'll see me bounce between the hyperbolic time chamber and outside on Earth, I guess you could say, because you'd see me on the arena or in the hyperbolic time chamber. Then I decided hyperbolic time changer because I think that it's faster, and I said changer, not chamber, but whatever, you get what I mean. Day 56. The training has finally paid off as we have now ascended to Super Saiyan 2. It may not look like it, but all that training has now paid off. Now we head off to Namek to prepare for the upcoming battle with Cell and his goons. Day 57. We're finally almost on the Cell showdown. All we have to do is fight Cell Juniors. Now, I think I'll just let you guys watch me fight the Cell Juniors, as I don't really know what to say during this because it's just Cell Juniors. And with me finally wiping out the last Cell Jr., it's time for Cell himself. Let's get ready to fight. He's going down. Oh wait, that was a whole lot easier than I thought. This sucks. Now it's time for the Boo Saga. So we gotta go talk to Babidi and see what's up and tell him to stop because he's being a bully. He won't stop. So guess what? We now have to go fight Babidi's goons just like we fought Cell's goons. And Babidi's goons consist of Pupi, this weirdo who kind of looks kind of funky. Up next, we have Yakan, and then, after we get rid of this bug-looking fella, we have Dabura, the old king of the Demon Realm, as we learned from Daima. Last but not least, we have Majin Buu. Before, we have to do more training. That's right, more training, because we have to get the Super Saiyan 3, baby. That's right. Day 58, we summon Broganda, or Proguna, I don't know, the Namekian Shenron. Apparently at some point in time, we finally got the last Namekian Dragon Balls. I don't remember when, but we do. In order to make the machine, we need to go mining for the materials, as we have none of the chips and none of the resources for the chips. So we're back in the mines, swinging our key from side to side, side to side. Days 59 to 60. So pretty much day 59, we spend it all grinding in this area where I kind of think it's suitable, kind of not think it's suitable, as I kind of get knocked around, he gets knocked around off the ledge. So we move to the other area where we built at the end of day 59, pretty much towards the beginning of day 60. That is where we will spend the rest of the time training, as this is now dedicated to the training room. End of day 60, we finally do it. We can finally ascend and push past our limits and go to Super Saiyan 3. Day 61, we are building up our auto smelter, as I think that's pretty important, as we're going to get a lot of food coming in, and I don't want to keep grabbing it out of the furnace every time. Speaking of food, we head over to Namek at the end of day 61, pretty much the rest of day 61. We're getting dinosaur meat to cook in our new auto smelter. Day 62 is when we start our fight against Majin Buu. This one not being much of a fight, but up next, Buu gets skinnier and a little bit stronger. Now that Super Majin Buu's out of the way, Buu absorbs Piccolo and Gotenks and becomes Super Buu Gotenks.
I call upon the trees and the water, the sun, the moon and the stars, the plants and the animals.
With Majin Buu spitting out Goten and Trunks, he becomes a lot weaker, making him Super Majin Piccolo. With Super Majin Buu Piccolo out of the way, he somehow manages to absorb Gohan and now becomes Super Majin Buu Ultimate. With Ultimate Majin Buu out of the way, up next we have Kid Buu. With Majin Buu out of the way, the Earth is at peace. But a god appears. A god named Beerus, who for some reason looks a little weird with this texture pack. And I get a little cocky thinking I can take him on. Oh wait, I can. I am the hero of Earth. With Beerus defeated, he goes back to sleep, but now we must get God Key and go into the realm of the gods. After learning I have to get 5 million TP, I AFK in a rage as I have to do a lot more grinding than I had before, so that means we're going to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Day 64, instead of going to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber to train, we decided to mine Terracotta as we need it for a secret project we're working on that you guys will see very soon in these couple of 20 days. And this is all we did for day 64, by the way. Days 65 and 66 were spent training, both days, both full days. 65 actually goes into 66 in this, but I brief it. Zeusky told me, as I asked him when he was streaming about his Tensura thing, to cut the fluff. So that's what we're doing here. We're pretty much cutting the fluff, not cuffing it. So, alright, and day 67, and we're back on Namek, as I don't care. It's day 67, so I'm gonna make the joke, and you're gonna like it. Thank you very much. Take a quick break from training on Namek as I needed to cool down and find my zen, my happiness, before having to go back to grinding and hitting 70,000 shadow dummies. Day 68 to 70, we're literally just punching the training dummy. That's all we do these entire days. That's all we do. So I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. You guys have 5 seconds, and I'll count down to turn your volume down, or something very bad will happen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You better turn your volume down. Ooh, let me know who got in trouble down in the comments if you're watching on TV or something. Let me know. Oh, that was funny. Day 71, we're back on Namek. That's right, we're taking another break from training because we were grinding for multiple days in a row, and we're going to keep grinding for even more multiple days in a row, which is really making me mad if you couldn't tell. I'm getting really heated, except for then I calmed down because I put the meat in the chest. Meat in the chest. Meat in the chest. Day 72 to 74, we're back to grinding, baby. That's right, we're back on that grind in this room again. But, you know, it's not that bad, I would say. I mean, it's pretty terrible, but it's not that bad. I mean, I would never lie. Like, make a random sound effect if I'm lying. Okay, maybe that proves something? Probably not. But now that it's day 75, we can finally buy God form, get God Key, and step into the realm of the gods. Now it is time to show off the drip. Now that we have finally stepped foot into the realm of the gods, we can face off against Beerus once again in this mystical, magical fight against him. With Beerus finally going back to sleep, now we must train against Whis. But this time, it's not going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be, so we may or may not have some difficulties, and he may or may not almost blow up a lot of our stuff, and I mean the entrance to where we train, as that's pretty tragic, and I really hate Whis for that, but I really can't do nothing against him as he's too strong for me at the moment, but we do almost win, and I do almost take him out with me on the way down. But don't worry, because there will be a round 2 against Whis. Alright, day 76, we're taking him on again. Let's do this. And never mind, we're dead. But let's do this for real this time.
Fight.
With me now beating Whis and being strong enough to take on Beerus and everybody, we can now take on Frieza's soldiers, as he has returned, but this time saying he is better than ever, but his guys are still not the best. They're kind of easy to work up, so let's just, you guys can watch, I guess. With the last guy taken care of, we can now get started on Frieza's generals. With Ginyu now out of the way, it's time for Frieza. With Frieza now out of the way, we must ascend to Super Saiyan Blue. Days 78 to 80, finishing day 80 obviously. We're pretty much just grinding the whole time once again. That's all I really do when we mush these things together. Like this is day 79, we're literally doing nothing. And on day 80, this day right here, this is the final push till we can get Super Saiyan Blue, as you can see when we unlock it and go Super Saiyan Blue. That's right, we have once again pushed past into the realm of the gods and achieved Super Saiyan Blue. Day 81, we're fighting Golden Frieza. Now that Frieza is taken care of, we are now on the Universe 6 saga. With Botamo, then we have Frost, Frieza's Universe 6 counterpart, and then we have Mageddon, who was a little bit of a challenge. Up next, we have to fight Cabba in his base form. Then we have to fight him in his Super Saiyan form, which was a little bit harder of a problem, but it wasn't too bad. Up next, we have Hit, is our next opponent. With Hit now taken care of, we move on to Beerus Monaka, as Beerus access Monaka, tricking us to thinking Monaka is strong. Now that we have beat Beerus Monaka, it is time for the Copy Vegeta saga. Regular Vegeta got whooped, so Vegeta went Super Saiyan Blue. Now that Copy Vegeta is through, Goku Black appears from the future. After getting pulled back to the future, he comes back once again. This time when we fight Goku Black, he is now Super Saiyan Rose. Now that we've beat Rose, Goku Black, Zamasu, and Goku Black appear in the past to fight us. Now that we've beat both of them, they come back, but this time they have fused together. Now that we've defeated them fused, he goes a little cray-cray and becomes half corrupted fused Zamasu. Day 83, we're fighting half-corrupted Zamasu once again, but this time he somehow manages to take us out. I don't know how, but I think he got a random power-up, so we are sent to Otherworld once again. But when we come back from Otherworld, we will be stronger than ever and be able to take on Zamasu. Zamasu now defeated for good, he then goes to the future one more time and merges with the world itself. Goku then calls Zeno-sama himself and he deletes that world. Whis then goes with Trunks to the future to warn Beerus about what's going to happen, giving Trunks a new world to return to. Finish off the future Trunks saga, we must fight Hit once again. Now that we have beat Hit, we are now in the Universe Survive Saga, fighting off against Basil. Now that we have beat Basil, it is time for Lavender in the round 2 of the Xeno Expo. Round 3 of the Xeno Expo is against Bergamo. Now that we have beat all 3 of them, it is time for Toppo. Now that we have won the Xeno Expo, I'm going to take a little break so that if we lose, we can still be in our universe. Day 84, we are now mining terracotta in preparation for a build we are making. Can you guys take a guess? It is something related to what I've been talking about of me being this entire 100 days. Take a guess. I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's right. If you guessed it, we are building Ba's Pit and Ba. I don't know how I'm going to build them yet, but we will, and it will look good, and you will say it will look good. So we need more cactus green for the dye. Day 85, we're placing more green terracotta for Ba's Pit, his little Lazarus pit, I don't know what you could call it. So then I have to go back to the Mesa biome and get more terracotta, as we need a lot of terracotta for the pit itself, as it is a pretty big pit. Day 86, we finally begin the construction of Ba himself using lime green wool. I didn't think this was in this version of Minecraft, but apparently it is, and that's pretty much his color. So I mean, that fits. I mean, if the shoe fits, you go for it. You know what I'm saying, guys? Now with this design. In every single picture I see, he's always in the water and he doesn't really have a body that you can see, so I kind of am just making him coming out of the water, but I didn't know how high up I wanted him to be, because in every picture it looks like he's like bent, right? Like his head is bent over, his body is hunched, you know what I mean? So I just kind of guessed. Day 87, after acquiring more wool, we decided to keep placing more instead of giving up. That's right, we do not give up on this build. I may be lying, but you'll never know. Then we make a beam or a wave. I forget what it's called. I think it's just a random name. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. Then we tear it down because I can't build it and we're just gonna leave it be. Day 88, we're back on Namek, getting more dinosaur meat as we're gonna need a lot for the upcoming days. But then we locate Frieza's ship and almost go, but then realize it is about 1,000,000 years away from where we are, so we don't go. Day 89, we're once again training to prepare for the Tournament of Power so that our universe will live over everybody else's. Day 90, we're in the Kai's world buying the old Kai's ritual as, well, I kind of wanted to see what it did and how it fared to the other ones, and it wasn't that good. I should have bought it earlier in the earlier days when I could have, but I just didn't think about buying it, so now it's kind of useless, so we don't use it, like, at all. We don't use it at all. But then we go back to training in the hyperbolic time chamber, as we do still need to keep training for things, and, well, then we go find the stronghold because, well, we do kind of need to beat the game before we beat the game, if you know what I mean. I want to beat the game before I beat the game before I beat the game, but this is all leading up to our fight with Broly on day 100. Day 91, that's right, we're back to training once again, as we really do need to get training because it really sucks, but I'm pretty sure I know what I was doing this day. I'm pretty sure I was watching Zevsky's live stream, as I kind of just space out every once in a while, and you know, we're gonna skip over that. Day 92, that's right, we're still training, but don't worry, we won't be training for much longer as we're going to the end. That's right, it's time to beat the game. And you'll be saying, weren't there two other eyes you had to fill in? I did those, but I didn't show them. It's whatever, get over it. We're in the end now, and I try to just shoot the crystals with my Destructo ball blasters things. I don't know what to call them, but that's what they are. They're like little beads of ki, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then I try to attack the dragon with the ki techniques that I miss, and then I use Goku's Spirit Bomb, and it doesn't work. That's right, he eats it. He literally munches on these guys.
All living things.
Tasty. He just eats that. He literally looks at me and eats that. So I just bam, wham on him, and he's dead. And then when we get 5 of his hearts, so I start munching on them, and I eat every last one, making sure they're gone. But after jumping through the portal, we're bald. The dragon made us bald. He gave us baldness. Day 93, we're literally just training the entire time, so I'm pretty much just going to skip over it. You're going to see this one clip, and that's it. This is a short day. Day 94, we're starting the tournament, and we have Bergamo, Basil, and Lavender as our opponent. Now that we've beat the trio, it is time for Caulifla and Kale together. Now that we've beat both of them, it's time for Caulifla's Super Saiyan. With us taking out Caulifla, Kale has found a newfound rage and has gone Super Saiyan herself. Now it's time for Brienne. Our opponent up next is Rip-Off Beerus, Dice Bow. With Timu Beerus out of the way, it is now time for Toppo. Now it is time for our first matchup against Jiren. With Jiren defeated, the two Saiyan sisters fused and have become Kefla. Now that we have defeated them, they have gone Super Saiyan. Just before our match against God of Destruction Toppo, it becomes day 95. Even Toppo was no match for me, so now it is our second fight against Jiren. Now that we've beaten Jiren, next up is his Unleashed form, but this time we gonna murder some Namekians to lower our goodness so we can become the God of Destruction and face Jiren at full power.
I got this!
Okay, maybe we didn't win last time, but this time we will win as we are gonna go Blue Evolution and we will defeat Jiren this time. Mark my words, we will defeat Jiren so that we can defeat Broly on day 100. With Jiren now out of the way and the tournament done, we can finally go spar against Vegeta before we face off against Broly. With the spar against Vegeta done, it is time for Goku. With our sparring matches out of the way, we finally face off against Broly. With Broly's base form out of the way, we fight him in his buff mode. With Broly buff out of the way, we go up against his Super Saiyan form. So, we may not have beaten this time, but next time we will win. All we must do is prepare for day 100. After suffering our defeat, we go AFK for literally pretty much 2 whole days, and then day 98 we finally come back and train, which is kind of why it's included in here, is because we just trained the whole day, except for we finally got Legendary Super Saiyan while we were AFKing, so I guess that's an upside if you ask me. Alright, day 99, we go Super Saiyan 4. As I said before in the intro, to defeat Broly, we're going to need to be the highest we can be. And for me, that's Super Saiyan 4, as it's significantly stronger than Super Saiyan Blue. So we get up there, and then we go to train, as we need to be prepared for our fight with Broly, as we lost so bad last time. After our training, we head to Namek to get dinosaur meat to prepare our fight with Broly on day 100, as it is only 1 day away. Day 100. It is now time to take on Broly. With Buff Broly out of the way, it's time for Legendary Broly, the final fight of this 100 days. And this was it, the make or break moment, and I went for it, and that's right, we did it! We beat the 100 days! So this was my 100 days Dragon Block C. Now, if you guys want to see more, then comment down below, like, subscribe, all the things, because I would love to do more, and I'm going to do more. I just don't know what to do. So if you could give me some, like, ideas of what to do, that'd be amazing, and I will most likely do them, probably spin a wheel or something, I don't know, but let me know what you guys think, and next time on Dragon Ball Z.